All the great minds.
Working all day and just kind of get out in, but they had to be here on the ground at 10, so you know, you hate to do this because of the weather. We don't have our perfect weather. Yeah, exactly. It's nice to be back here and back at the old barn, and horses all shipped well. They look great out there. The track's in good shape, and so we're you know, this is like the Masters. You know, it lasts a week, right? Everything's got to go great, and so far all the horses got in here in great shape, and we're happy the way they all, you know, they look great today.
Could you just kind of talk about each of your Derby horses and also Tenma, your Kentucky Oaks horse?
Yeah, Tenma, we brought her in here. She's a filly that, you know, her last race was she won. She didn't run that fast, but the track was in a little deep and loose that day, and a lot of horses were tiring. That's why the San Diego Derby probably would have run a lot faster. So, but I thought a mile and an eighth. I think the further the better for her. Does she fit with these horses? I'm not sure, but she's been doing so well. You know, we'll give her a chance to run. She shipped well, gets over the track really well. So we'll see how she does. And the Derby horses, Rodriguez. You know, I loved his wood. You know, he just got out there and just kept going. The distance is not going to be an issue with him. I think he's a lot like his sire, Authentic. He's going to get, with age, he's going to mature. He's getting better, and I can see he's there. I think by the summer, by the fall, summer, he's going to be really good. But he has to be really good next week. And so far, he looks good. I'm going to give him all of them just a little breeze here, maybe Sunday, Monday, whatever. And but they look great.
What does it feel like to be back here, Bob?
It feels great. You know, I came here in November and it was nice, and it's coming into the stable gate. You know, everybody was nice to me, you know, welcomed me back, and so it's like I never left. You know, so I feel great.
Any emotions coming back here and seeing all this back up here again?
I'll get the emotion. You know, when I get the emotions is the day of the Derby is when I get the emotions, because of there's a lot of great memories that I've had here, and you know, when I had my parents here, and I think about, I'm so happy that I got to share, you know, my successes when they were here to see it, winning the Derby. So that's when I get emotional on race day.
What would it mean to win on your first year back and with the horses you have?
I think it's exciting anytime you win. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, you win a Derby and you think, well, I could be my last one, you know, and so you have to just take them one at a time. And right now is to focus on the horses and to keep them happy and healthy, and you know, just from here on, a lot of detail involved from here on out. So watch everything, watch the weather. I don't have my son Bodie. He used to keep me going with the weather. He's bailed on me. I asked him about it. He's in college now. He doesn't care about the weather. But
Where does he go?
He goes to TCU, and so it's. But you know, this track really handles weather really well, rain really well. So I really like the surface looks great. So they all went over it really well.
What about Citizen Bull? Your 2-year-old champion, Citizen Bull. Comment
Yeah,
on
Citizen
his
Bull.
last race.
I think the last race, I gave him that one race, and he was a little heavy, and he got tired. He was blowing pretty hard after that last race. He's come back, and I've been able to tighten the screws on him a little bit now. He's ready. Now he's ready for the San Diego Derby, you know. So, but he looks great. He's been working well. He's pretty happy. He thinks he's King Kong. He's got a great attitude. He likes to train. He thinks he's really hot, you know. And so I expect a totally different race out of him. You're going to see the real Citizen Bull come next Saturday.
The last few years, did you watch the Derby at home, or what did you do?
Oh yeah, we had parties and stuff. You know, the
At your
Derby's,
house?
huh?
At your
I know. Last year I had a Derby party at my house. The year before I went, my clients flew me into Tucson and we had a party there. And I actually went to Relito Park. We went to play some bets there where we were still open, so everybody was there. So, no, the Derby is still, it's a very important, you know, part of our, you know, I enjoy watching it. I like to see. I actually get nervous when they go in the gate because I know what all those trainers are feeling. And you're wondering, who's going to get it? You know, is Steve going to get his Derby? Is what's so and so? And Yakteen was here, and just you know, you know, we've been there, and so you know what they're feeling. So, but it's still exciting to watch.
Are there hard feelings? Do you feel the suspensions were unfair?
No, I don't. See, the thing is, it wasn't. We understood. You know, we never denied that there was a positive. It was just we were hoping it'd be dropped to a D. You know, we found out what it was, but I don't feel that way because in racing as a trainer, I'd be mad every week, every time we got beat or something. You know, you just cannot. I just always never look back and turn the page, and I accepted it and just move on.
How did you all mend fences, Bob, in terms of Churchill and you, when you all decided?
Oh, that's a big secret. That's a big secret.
Did they reach out to you?
Reaction from the other trainers.
What's that?
How has been the reaction from the other trainers?
My reaction has been, you know, I've been running horses all over, you know, the place, and so, no, everybody's glad to, you know, and I'm glad to see everybody, you know, and so it's part of the, because, you know, it's like a village back here, you know, and everybody's watching everybody, so it's good to have, you know, you want to see everybody, and so I really, it's nice to see these signs back up. That was the best part.
Were you concerned they wouldn't be up?
No, I need them.
Do you know where they were?
I hope they're new. They don't look faded, so they weren't in the sun.
Was it weird when you saw that and then they weren't there?
Well, I wasn't here, so I didn't see them, but I knew they were gone.
Did it hurt to have to watch on TV?
Not at all. No, because I didn't have a horse, and you know, and the thing is, I didn't have a horse, you know, that was, you know, I had some horses that would look like they could be Derby horses, and then they didn't make it. So, and then the ones that did, it was crazy those last Derbies here with all those long shots and speed. So I don't know if I would have won the Derby. I don't know if I would have had a horse. Now, if I would have had a horse like Justifier and Pharaoh, you know, and then watch them, you know, probably be a little bit different. But I didn't really. I mean, the Derby has always been. My greatest memories are the Kentucky Derby, and they always will be. And it's something that, you know, without the Derby, you know, horse racing would have a totally different look. You know, everybody, and it's getting bigger, and for some reason, it gets bigger and bigger every year. And when you watch it on television, God, it's huge. You know, and so especially like last year, you know, it's such an event. I miss running horses in the undercard. That's what I did miss. You know, I would have, you know, liked to have been here for the undercard because they have some great races and they run for so much money. But now it's good. I brought some horses, hopefully, for the undercard that hopefully we get lucky. And like John Asher, first thing he'd ask me, who's the beer money horse? You know, you want to know what.
So who is it?
I don't know yet.
Is
Can't
Nice
tell you.
House going to run, Bob?
Yeah, as long as he's doing well. And we'll see how he trains this week. You know, he hasn't run in a while, and there wasn't really any races at Santa Anita. But we'll breeze him here, see how he goes. Right now, I'd like to run him in the Churchill Downs race, so the 7A's race.
You said you were going to get emotional with the Derby, but do you think we'll have those emotions for the Oaks?
The Oaks, it's a different kind of. The Oaks it's for the locals. You know, the Oaks is fun, but it's one of those things where you watch good racing, and that's the thing about. I think every allowance and stake race should be a grade 1 here because everybody, you know, you want to be here, showcase all these good horses on the big weekend, and all these good horses are coming this week. So every race is going to be tough.
Did the situation change you at all?
Not at all. I mean, it just, you know, it happens in racing. You have to accept, you know, when you get beat, you accept when, you know, when things don't go right, you know, and so it was one of those things where, well, I can't change it. You know, it's like when I don't have any control of it, I don't worry about it. Just like when you throw that, like I won't relax until I saddle those horses and throw that jockey on. That's the only time I'll really just, okay, the rest is, you know, it's up to, we need some luck, some fate, something neat, you know, get the right bounce, you know, see what happens.
Bob, did you do change any practices, or you've obviously had a pretty spotless record since Medina Spirit? What's kind of changed on your end? Did you have to?
Well, I think we were really, I actually ran a pretty tight ship and we were really careful, but it was a, you know, nobody thought for some reason the ointment, you know, in hindsight, I wish I would have left it there, but we didn't know it came with the horse, and so it's just, and the sensitivity of the testing now is so, nobody would have ever thought, but we just, you know, we missed it, and so we were trying to get it to a Class D, but that didn't happen, so it's all behind us now.
Bob, how are you feeling about the chances of Rodriguez and Citizen Bull? Just
The what now?
how are you feeling about their chances coming into this race?
Well, I feel, you know, we had 4 horses that we qualified, but you know, the other 2, they just weren't, you know. You want to come in here with a proper horse. You know, I've come in here with horses that I knew, well, it's not fun if you have a horse that you down deep, you know, he doesn't fit. But I think they're horses. I think Rodriguez Wood was pretty impressive. And I figured that I told Mike was supposed to ride Citizen Bull from the beginning, but he couldn't take off, and that's how Martin got the ride. And then Martin came back and won on him, and so, you know, Martin and I, we go way back, and so and he got all my Derby winners ready and stuff, so it's good for Martin. But the bull, you know, the thing, he got really tired, grabbed him leaving there, but I could tell he was just, he didn't look, he wasn't super tight for that race, and he only had that one race under his belt, so he needed it, but now he looks good. And Rodriguez, they have to have the trip. You know, they're all, unfortunately, they all have the same style, you know, so.
It does look like there's a lot of speed in this.
Yeah, everybody says there's no speed. There's always a lot of speed in the Derby. So, I mean, last year it was like, you know, look what happened, you know, that happens. And so, like, that's why you watch the race in the paddocks. You can go out to your car right away, you know. Things aren't looking good.
Bob, the Santa Anita Derby's been kind of like your personal playground. You've so dominated. What does it say about journalism that he's been the dominant 3-year-old?
Yeah, no, he's a good horse, and Mike McCarthy's done a tremendous job getting him ready. I've watched him. We were joking about his maiden race, his first race back, and so it's one of those things where I see him progress. You know, you see these horses, he's doing it, you know, like you look at him like, well, maybe that race, you know, you see him like, oh, he still looks good, you know. And so what we'll do, and it's fun, the best part is all week is you see all the horses and you watch them train, and you can sort of see the ones that, you know, I like to look at, they all come out all sizes and different shapes. You know, you go to these sales, you're trying to find one, but they all come in different sizes and shapes. But I think journalism, you know, he should be the Derby favorite. I mean, I was chasing him. I threw some really good horses at him, and that horse, he has a desire to win. I mean, he had all the trouble last time, and he just drops that head and comes running. So he's going to be tough.
Is that one reason why you sent Rodriguez to New York to get away from?
Yes.
Bob, are you the face of horse racing?
I am this. I think I'm clickbait. I think. I don't know. I think that's what I've become. I don't know about that.
It's pretty good.
Did you learn anything that you didn't know about the Derby watching it on television? It's a different perspective.
You know what I do? I watch what I do. I live on YouTube, and I like to watch all the derbies and all my old derbies, and I see, because I always take a little bit from something from there, and but it's still I'm still learning. You know, that's one thing about horse racing. You know, you have to you learn in your style, and then after the draw, then you sort of study it. But really, I don't have. These horses just need to be doing really well, and they need a break. They need to bring their super A game, and they have to get the trip, you know. And so, you know, I brought horses here, like McCarthy. I told him before we came here, the secret of me winning all those derbies is I won it with the best horse, you know, and I've lost it with the best horse, you know. So it can happen. So you still need, with 20 horses, you need a lot of luck still, you know. But they have to be ready, and if they're ready, and your rider, you know, rides his race, and there's a lot of pressure on them, and they get excited and everything. But it's a big day. It's you know, that's why I sent out, you know, Rodriguez to Aqueduct. I wanted a quiet atmosphere for him, and I found it, you know. But now here it's going to be crazy, you know, so we'll see how he handles that.
Is the track surface any different than when you were here last?
Well, it's wet today, so it's always been a good surface here. You know, Santa Anita, our surface is really deep. It's just really deep and sandy. So I think these horses I think the riders say they're moving better over this surface than me, you know, because it's demanding there. Okay.